I made a huge sports card trade recently. This trade involved 15 total cards and checked off several key cards for my wish list. And in my hand is the envelope that holds all the cards that I got back in this trade. But why should you care? Why should you listen to me drone on about a sports card trade that has nothing to do with your cards, your PC, or even any cards that you might care about? And the answer is value. Yes, that's right, cold, hard value. Because whether you want to admit this or not, the sports card market is red hot right now, which means real collectors have to pay much more for the cards they want than a year ago. And the question becomes, is there a better way to collect? In other words, is there a way for you to get the cards on your wish list without breaking the bank or overspending for those cards? And the answer is yes, there is a way. Which is why I think you should listen to me talk about this sports card trade, and also why you should stay to the very end of this video. Because the truth is, collectors are spending 20, 30, or even 50% more for the same cards today than they did a year ago. And there doesn't seem to be any relief in the near future. So what can you do? Which brings me back to the purpose of this video. But before I get into the details of this trade, I want to personally thank everyone who recently subscribed to my channel. As you can see, more than 700 people hit the like and subscribe button, which means I am very close to hitting my 4,000 subscriber goal for this summer. It's because of you guys that I try harder to make better videos. And now, back to the video. I've got 3 questions for you. Do you have a PC wish list? Are there any cards you want to get that are just too expensive right now? And do you have a whole bunch of cards sitting in your closet somewhere just collecting dust that you wish you could exchange for cards you care about more? If you answered yes to all 3 of those questions, then pay close attention to what I'm about to say, because if you follow this strategy in this video, you will learn more how to remove the stuff in your closet for stuff you really want. If you're new to my channel, you probably didn't know I created a playlist called the Hobby Classroom 101 Lessons. And the reason that's important is because I have one video called The 7 Principles of Collecting Cards. This is a beginner intermediate guide to collecting like a pro, and after you finish this video, you should go back and watch that one. And here's why. In that video, I go over the 7 principles of collecting cards, and one of those principles is why you should stop holding on to everything you bought for your PC. The truth is, just because you bought something a year ago doesn't automatically mean you should save it. After all, when did you become a museum? The fact is, when you hold everything you buy, you're no longer a collector. You're just a hoarder. And no matter how much you deny it, it's still the truth. Therefore, one of the reasons why you should follow this trading strategy is because this is the cheapest way to get rid of cards that are collecting dust for cards that will mean more to you. For my OG subscribers, you already know I'm a card hoarder. Yes, that's right. I collected more than 8 million cards and memorabilia by the time I was 18 years old, and over the last 10 years, I have been slowly selling off most of the hoard. And to date, I'm down to around 500,000 cards and memorabilia left. But I'm going to assume you're not as bad as me, which is why this trading strategy should be much easier for you to do. And if I can help one person avoid becoming a hoarder like me, then I've done my job. So what is this trading strategy? In order to make the rest of this video easier to follow, I wanted to outline 4 key questions I'm going to answer for you. 1, where do I find someone to trade with? 2, how do I negotiate the deal? 3, how do I know I could trust the guy? And 4, is trading worth it, or should you just buy your cards on eBay or at a card show? After I answer all 4 questions, you will know whether or not this trading strategy is for you, or if you need to come up with a different way to get rid of the cards in your basement. Question number 1, where do you find people to trade with? Even though Fanatics has increased the eyeballs on the hobby, the truth is it's not easy to find people to trade with. Even going to a sponsored trade night is more like walking into the lion's den. Trust me, if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get taken advantage of really quickly. Because even though this hobby is a lot of fun, there are more dark secrets and hidden trapdoors that will swallow you up before you can say sports card radio. And one of those hidden trap doors is the shady world of one-of-ones. And if you want to know which one-of-one cards you should stay away from and which ones will be worth more in the future, go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now, because I am doing research on a series of videos exposing the shady world of one-of-ones. But let's get into this trade. I found the guy to trade with on Reddit. There are two main subreddits that I check out almost every day. One is called Baseball Cards, and the other is called Baseball Cards Vintage. If you go and follow those two subreddits, you will see that people post cards for sale, trade, and looking to buy all the time. And about a week ago, a guy made a post looking to finish a 1973 set. All he said was he needed a few specific cards. Therefore, I was intrigued. After all, I still have a ton of common and star cards from the 60s and 70s, so did I have the ones he wanted? And this is part one of the strategy. If you are looking for cards, make a post on those two subreddits and you never know who will contact you. And if you are looking for commons from the 50s to the 90s, you can send me a DM on Instagram, and who knows, maybe I have the cards you need as well. Question number 2, how did I negotiate the deal? After I went through the cards, I had messaged the guy and said, I have 4 cards on your list. Would you like to trade? And he messaged me back and said, yes, send me your wish list. So I sent him my Google Sheet, and after a couple days, he came back with this photo. OMG, this is awesome. These are 5 cards I really want for my PC, including 2 Gary Carter cards I've been trying to get without spending too much money. But tell me if you can spot the problem. Here are the cards he wanted, and here are the cards he was sending back to me in the deal. For the record, the cards I wanted were worth more than the cards I was sending back, and this is where most deals tend to fall apart. Therefore, here is trading strategy number 2. Before you do anything, try to pin down the value of the cards on both sides, because unfortunately, everyone thinks their cards are worth 10 times more than they actually are. And unless you can agree on value, there's no way to make a deal work. And a few months ago, I tried to make a deal for some lower end Mays and Koufax cards, but the guy kept quoting me PSA 7 values when his cards were ungraded and also had creases in them. And this is the trouble with the hobby. The minute you buy a card, the value shoots up in your mind, when the truth is you have to look at the real comps. So what is the real value of this deal? The cards I wanted were worth around $20 total, and the cards I was sending back were only worth half that. Therefore, there was a $10 gap. So now what do? So I took a gamble and said to him, I think your cards are worth more than mine, so what if I send you a photo of some cards I can add to this deal to make it more even? And to my pleasant surprise, he said, yes, that sounds great, but you just never know. And I didn't want to get my hopes up because too many deals fall through. But I wanted to make this deal work, so I looked through my inventory and found 6 cards I thought might make this guy happy. Here's a photo of those cards. But the truth is, I didn't know what he was going to say. Luckily, he said yes and sent me his address and then asked for mine. No way, this deal is going to happen, but not so fast. When a trade seems too good to be true, that's when you have to start worrying. And this trade went way too smoothly. There was no haggling, there was no back and forth. So what am I missing? And this is where the first red flag came up. Question number 3, how do you know if you can trust the guy? The truth is, everyone you talk to online is a complete stranger. And in this case, I never talked to the guy on the phone, I never FaceTimed him, and he's not a subscriber to my channel. So how do I know this guy isn't going to scam me? Therefore, here is the trading strategy number 3. Trust but verify. What concerned me the most is when he sent me a message saying, I sent out your cards, and I then asked him for a screenshot of the tracking number. And that's when he told me I sent it PWE, plain white envelope, and there was no tracking number. Well, that's fine, but how come you didn't send me a pic of the cards in the envelope? Obviously, this guy isn't a scammer because I'm holding the envelope in my hands right now, but you just never know. Which brings me to the last question. Question number 4, is trading worth it, or should you buy your cards on eBay or at a card show? The truth is sometimes you have to take a leap of faith. If you really want to stop paying for cards and instead use the cards laying around the bottom of your closet, then you have to follow this trading strategy. Now you don't have to use Reddit to trade your cards. There are other apps that facilitate trades such as Veriswap and My Card Post. And if you want $15 in free trade credits on Veriswap, just use my code Y8NZ and they will give you $15 free in trade credits right now. But here's what no one in the hobby is going to tell you. Trading is really hard. In fact, it might be harder to make a fair deal than it is to buy the cards you want with cash. And the reason it's so hard to trade is because everyone overvalues the cards they have in their PC and undervalues the cards in your PC. And there is nothing you can do about it because you do the exact same thing. Take a look at the cards you have accumulated over the last several years. How much do you think those cards are worth? And what do you think the real comps say? I promise you that you're overvalued by at least 10%. It's called ownership bias, where everything you own is always the best and everything someone else owns isn't as good as your stuff. Excuse me for 1 second, but I need to mail out my package to this guy since he didn't scam me. Now that I mailed out my cards for this trade, it's time to open up this envelope to see the cards I add to my PC. If you want to see me open up this envelope and all the cards that I get from my PC, hit the like and subscribe button right now because I got to make a new video for this one, and I'm also going to include all the cards that I just got back from PSA for authentication. So if you hit the subscribe button, you'll get an alert for that video coming up. This is Doc saying, I'll see you.